guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with some more hate to love romance recommendations. I have a bunch of regular adult romances and then 2 young adult romances that I'm going to save for the end because these are all books that I've read recently that are all hate to love. I read a lot of hate to love romances. It's a top tier trope. I love it, and I am excited to share with you some of the romances I have to recommend. First though, I want to show off my sweatshirt. I went to the chiropractor this morning and I got 2 compliments on my sweatshirt, and I only saw 3 people while I was there, so it's hella lovely. It's read more books. I always have hella lovely link down below. I'm obsessed with Hello Lovely. I just want to give them a little shout out because I love their stuff, so check them out. And second, I have another romance creator I want you guys to check out. I am going to be recommending Sam from Sam Reads a Little. She currently has 838 followers, and she needs more. So she does really great videos. Her latest one was nanny governess romance books. This one was a lot of fun. She had contemporary and historical. I love that trope, so she does do a lot of trope recommendations. She did age gap recommendations. She's got her wrap up, and she reads romance. So if you're into romance like I think you are because you're watching this video, which is a romance recommendation video, go check out Sam, follow her, subscribe to her channel, check out her videos if you like, give her a subscribe. And now I'm gonna get to the books I have to recommend. The first one I just finished yesterday. I read it through FM. It's their advanced listener copy reader program, so I got the audio for free, but I had bought the physical copy because of a few people in the book community, and that is Sweethand by N.G. Peltier. This one is a wedding romance, so our heroine is the maid of honor of her sister. The hero is the best man of her future brother-in-law, and they've always hated each other. She's never really liked the hero, and they really butt heads. She hates him, and she actually owns her own bakery and like baking business, and she's really great at it. People love her, and she had a not so great relationship end with a musician. He works in the music industry, and so they have to spend a lot of time together leading up to the wedding. This takes place months before the wedding, so we get a lot of things that go into planning a wedding, which I love. They had to get together to make props for the wedding, and they had to go do the bachelor night. They had ladies nights. They had her birthday. It was just a lot of fun seeing like the behind the scenes of a wedding take place instead of the actual wedding. We do get the wedding at the end, but I liked the lead up to it and how they spent more time together, and she's like, maybe he isn't as bad as he seems. I should have given him a chance, and it was really good. Of course, there's a lot of chemistry between them, and she has to talk it out with like her sister and her best friends, which was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one. I think the hype is definitely worth it. It was just super cute. If you love a good wedding romance, I think you would love reading this one. The next one is one I'm obsessed with, and that is Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. This is the first book in a mafia romance series. Our hero and our heroine are from rival mafia families, and our heroine and her brothers crash a birthday party of one of the children of the rival family. I think it was one of the daughters, and our heroine is like snooping and is afraid to get caught and tries to set a diversion. She almost catches their entire house on fire, and the hero's angry. She also takes something from him, and so he is very mad. So he retaliates, and then the families are like, we can't afford another feud between our families. We've done it before. We've lost loved ones from it. People have died. We can't afford to do that again. People can't die again. So they force our hero and our heroine into an arranged marriage. They detest each other. They cannot stand each other, and so they enter an arranged marriage, and there are points where they literally almost kill each other. And it's fabulous. I love that kind of enemies to lovers where they cannot stand each other to the point where they literally try to take each other out. And they obviously like to play with each other, and they start playing with each other and their physical attraction to one another, and then things kind of start blurring the lines, and it is so, so good. This is so unique. It's not like something I've read before in a mafia romance. I really loved it. Our heroine is a curvy heroine as well, which I absolutely loved, so I would definitely recommend picking this up. I already have book 2 on my Kindle. It is on Kindle Unlimited. I just had to get the gorgeous paperback, and there's a spin-off series of the kids' stories. I haven't read that far yet because I've only read the first book in the series, but I could not recommend Sophie Lark enough. Then I have Wicked in His Arms by Stacey Reed, and this one our heroine has a sick stepfather, and her actual father had committed suicide, so society really looks down upon her, so she needs to find a good husband, and so she needs a good season, so her family sends her to this other family to help train her, to help her have a good season, and that is the family of the hero, and he instantly doesn't really like her, and his mother really doesn't like her, but she's really close with the sister of the family, and so her and the hero kind of play some games on each other. She does something really funny to him, and they kind of butt heads, but it's more of like, we like each other, so we're kind of being mean to each other, and then they have to have a marriage of convenience as well for a specific reason, and he does not like women who are very overtly emotional. Like, he'd already been in an engagement and broke it off because she was too emotional for him, so she feels like she has to tamp down her emotions, but she loves to paint, she loves to ride horses like a man, she likes to like do man things, and so in the marriage of convenience she's like, only marry you if you let me still do that, and so he has to deal with that. It's so much fun. I really love this. I listened to the audiobook, which was great as well. Definitely more of like a we're annoyed with each other and play pranks on each other to love, not necessarily like enemies, but it was still really good. Another mafia romance for you is Bound by Hatred by Cora Riley. I know I talk about Cora Riley all the time. I love her Kimura Chronicles better, but this one is a really good hate to love romance because our heroine, Gianna, like literally runs away so she does not have to marry our hero. They have to go into arranged marriage because Matteo is determined to show Gianna that he can have her, because they just like butt heads so much because they know there's insane chemistry between them. So he's like, fine, you're mine if you're gonna reject me. And she's like, no, she wants nothing to do with mafia life. Her two sisters have already been married off, so she literally runs away, and he's got to hunt her down. I really like this. I think it had a lot more mafia content than the first two books in the series. I love the Kimura Chronicles better because of all the mafia content we get, and it's not just about the women just being good, docile wives, sitting by, waiting for their man, which is what the first two books felt like. This one didn't. Gianna really stood up to Matteo. I loved that. She didn't like the idea of being married to him. She's obviously attracted to him. They both have a little moment together at her sister's wedding before she runs away, and Matteo is like, anybody touches you, they're going down. So I really enjoy this one. Definitely hate to love. It's called Bound by Hatred, so they hate each other. Then we have The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I listened to this book on audio and I thought it was really, really fun. Our heroine's been working at this radio station for a while, and she helps out in a few shows, and there's this new hotshot guy who's really young. It's his first job. He is getting like all the attention from their manager, producer, or whatever, and she's getting angry and annoyed, and so she can't stand him. She just talks back to him all the time, and everyone knows they can't stand each other. But then they get this idea for a new radio segment where it is a couple who are exes, and they're going to be having a relationship radio show, and so the company decides to put them together as the exes because they have such good banter anyways because they don't like each other, so they have to pretend to be exes. He is like, no, it's gonna like take over my reporter integrity, and she was like, really, we need a successful radio show. So they do it, and it's really a lot of fun. I really liked their romance. I liked how they had to get to know each other like exes. They're actually sent on like a mini vacation together where it's just the two of them to get to know each other so they can be believable on their show, and I really liked it. The ending was sad but really good, and I just enjoyed this romance. It's very unique. I haven't read like a radio show romance before, so this was a lot of fun. Then I have Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbin. This one is an MM romance, and one of our heroes is a romance reader, and he runs a book club. He's super into his book club. He just loves romance. He'll even buy all the books for the book club because he just wants people to talk to romance about. Our other hero is not into romance and makes fun of the romance reading hero, and so the romance reading hero is just like, excuse you, who do you think you are? Get out of my way, like don't talk to me. And so then they actually end up spending some time together because the one joins the romance book club because he just likes to push his buttons as his way of like flirting, and it's super adorable how they grow a little closer, and the people in the book club kind of meddle, and they're like, ooh, what's going on here? And it's so adorable. It's so fun. It's so short. It's just something to read for a good time, for a smile. I really love their romance. I love Jack Harbin. He's someone I need to read so much more from, and this one is just so cute. It's more of like a annoyance to love. They don't really like hate each other. They're just like, oh, you're so annoying, but they really like each other, so I enjoy this one. Then I have One Hero's Fall by Gianna Darling. This one is more one-sided. Our heroine is a lawyer. She's really an ice queen. She was kind of betrayed by an ex, and so now she's just like, oh, I hate men, and I hate especially men who break the law. And so our hero is really high up in the mafia. I don't remember if he's a capo or not. I don't think he is, but he's currently on trial for crimes like murder and other crimes for being associated with the mafia, and she is part of the lawyer team, defense team, protecting him, and so she has to get closer to him, and she's just like, oh, I hate everything he stands for. He is super intrigued by her. He's trying to get under her skin, trying to spend more time with her. He even requests that she live in his apartment because he's on house arrest, and he's like, I need immediate updates all the time on the case, so you're gonna live with me. And so she does, and it's great. He's super protective of her. I really like that. He was more of like the outgoing sunshiny character, and she was definitely more of of like the ice cold grump, not grump, but just like I don't trust anybody, don't want to talk to anybody kind of character, and I really love this. It was so good, and I'm excited for the second one. It is the first book in a duet. The second one comes out at the end of June, and it kind of has a cliffhanger, kind of not, but I'm excited to see like where it goes, and I would definitely recommend this one. Alright, the last two I have are YA. So the first one is Made in Korea by Sarah Suk. This one is really fun. It's about two teens who have competing Korean beauty companies. So our heroine's been doing this for a while. She has, I think her cousin gets a lot of products from his dad, who is living abroad, and so he sends back like care package to his mom, and they take it and with permission and sell it at school, and she's super into this company. She's trying to prove to her parents that she can be successful at something because they always compare her to her sister, and she wants to take her grandma to France as a trip for them to take together because she really values her relationship with her grandma. Our hero's new in school, and his mom works for a big K-pop band, and so she has a lot of like K-pop beauty products like to promote for the band. She gives some to him at the beginning of his like time at school and is like, here, give some to your friends, like make new friends, and they think he's selling it, and so then he figures out that he can use the money to go to music school because he really loves a saxophone. He needs to repair his saxophone, go to music school, and his parents want him to do something like engineering, something in STEM, medicine, and something like worthwhile, and like that'll get money, and so he's very frustrated with them, so he decided to use his money from his business to support his lifelong dream. She's mad. She's like, I am the K-beauty company at the school. You're stealing my customers. You need to stop that. And she's actually really mean to him and takes the competition between them a little too far. So it's really hard to like her character because of that, but she is so driven because of her parents and her family and her comparison with her sister. So they end up growing closer, but then she doesn't know whether to trust him, if she can see him as a person and not competition. And she's really told, like, you are going too far. Like, you need to stop your obsession with this. And so she grows a lot through this. I really loved it. It was such a cute young adult romance, and so definitely hate to love. Really enemies, but like competing business enemies. And the last one I have is She Drives Me Crazy, which is a sapphic romance, and this one was so fun because they are enemies. Our heroine plays basketball and the other one is a cheerleader, and the one who plays basketball is recovering from a breakup that she's really emotionally crushed over, and so she's on the basketball team. They're not really cool in school, they're not really that good, but she ends up accidentally being hit by the cheerleader in the parking lot, and the moms show up and they're like, oh, we live down the street from each other, just give each other a ride to school. And so they're like, but we hate each other. The cheerleader really embarrassed the basketball player at a party the year before, and so she's never forgiven her. She's like, you are just a vile human being and I hate you. And so they start riding to school together, and then they decide to fake date for a specific reason. Our one heroine, the cheerleader, needs money because she now has to pay to repair her car, but she needs to cheer and she wants to become the best athlete in the school and win this athlete award, but people don't take cheerleaders seriously, and like, cheerleaders would never win the athletic award, like, what are you talking about? And so if she wants to pay back her car though, she'd have to quit to get a job. And so she said, I'll fake date you if like you give me the money. And so she's like, of course, because she wants to make her ex jealous, and that's why they fake date. It's so good. I love this one so much. It was so cute. I loved how they started to get to know each other and like realize what actually happened at that party, and our basketball player heroine is trying to get over this ex, and she's like, am I still in it for the ex, or am I in it because I'm really liking you now? And she gets confused, and it's a lot of fun because the school starts getting invested in the basketball team too, because like the cheerleaders start showing up and like people start caring, and it's just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one. And those are some hate to love romance recommendations. Let me know down below if you've read any of these or if you have any other recommendations. I've done this video a bunch of times. I will leave my other recommendation videos down below. I just do it whenever I have like 10 new ones to recommend, so check out my previous videos, and that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.